A force so powerful, it drives us to reach for the unattainable, to chase after dreams, and to relentlessly pursue what lies just beyond our grasp. Everyone desires something. What is the one thing you have always wanted but you could not get? Think about it for a moment, and what made it so desirable to you? And what is it about desire that captivates us so deeply? And how we can, as entrepreneurs and leaders, harness this force to inspire and create? Namaskar and welcome back to Ignited Stories. I am Dev, and today we are uncovering the secrets to the art of desire. But first, tell me something. Do you fail to attract people? Or you feel that whatever you do or say, people don't just bother? Frustrating, right? Let me share a story that will help you to understand how not just to be noticed but to be remembered. So there was once a middle class boy in a small manufacturing town called Kakinada in West Bengal. Surrounded by the simplicity of rural life, forests, trees, and a close-knit community. Though his family had limited means, his world was rich with imagination. For him, visiting Kolkata with his parents was like traveling to New York or Paris, a city full of wonders, tall buildings, and imported cars. And though he was expected to follow a conventional path, becoming a doctor or an engineer, but drawn to the world of design, he chose to study fashion and NIFT as it was affordable also at that time. Starting his career with just a few $1,000 and no connections in the fashion industry, he faced an enormous challenge. How could a middle class boy create luxury for elite? But he quickly learned that the key to create desire was not just in the design itself, but in the story behind it. He understood that to connect with his customers, he has to blend the richness of heritage with the aspirations of the modern world. This boy, who once sketched in the quiet corners of his small town, is known as Sabyasachi Mukherjee, a name synonymous with desire in the world of fashion, a name that makes brides faint with excitement and wallets weep. But here is the thing, Sabyasachi did not just create clothes, he created desire. He used absence to let people's imaginations run wild. Slowly, the word got out that certain celebrities were wearing his designs. And suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of that action. It was not just about fabric, it was about the story, the mystique. And just like that, Sabyasachi became fashion world's version of that one cookie you can't have but you must have. People desired Sabyasachi's creation not just because of their beauty, but because of what they represented and how they were represented. There is a distinct but significant element of taboo also in Sabyasachi's creations, like starting the use of darker skin tones in Indian context. In a world where mass production was becoming the norm, Sabyasachi offered something rare, something that spoke to the heart. Now let us understand how can we stimulate this desire. So an interesting observation. Have you ever wondered why celebrities often arrive late to the events? It's actually a calculated move to enhance fascination towards them. You see, too much present often suffocates. It can make you too familiar, too accessible. By arriving late, celebrities create a sense of scarcity. Scarcity is a powerful psychological tool. It makes people value what is less available. Think about it. Our minds naturally drift towards something new and different. And the more distant and attainable this new object is, the greater our desire to have it. And it is the fundamental part of human psychology. When something is out of reach, our mind fixates on it and we begin to want it more intensely. This is why limited edition products or exclusive events draw so much attention. They play on our desire for the unattainable. To use this power of absence in your favor, you should know how and when to withdraw. By doing this, your opinions, values, and tastes are never too obvious to people. This gives them the room to read and interpret into how they perceive you to be. Let's talk about Oprah Winfrey for a second. Oprah is a master at this game, but not because she is always in the spotlight. Instead, she knows exactly when to withdraw and when to reappear. Despite being a public figure for decades, Oprah has managed to keep aspects of her personal life private. After the show ended, she has been very selective about public appearances. This sense of mystery is what makes people even more curious and drawn to her. But what happens when others start noticing what you have? See, we are social creatures, and let's be honest, what we want often depends on what everyone else is running behind. Imagine a product like iPhone in its early days, so desired that people lined up for hours just to get their hands on it. Have you ever found yourself wanting something just because everyone seems to want it too? Maybe it was a designer outfit, the latest gadget, or even a limited edition sneaker. It happens. When we see something that others desire, its value in our eyes skyrockets. And to create this effect, make sure your product or idea is everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Even if you have to encourage piracy for your own product. Think Microsoft in the 90s. Did you ever notice how everyone seemed to have Windows even if they did not exactly buy it? Why do you think that is? Sure, Microsoft said that piracy was bad officially, but secretly they knew it. It was the best free advertisement they could ever get. Everyone had a copy of Windows or Office, whether they paid it or not. And guess what? That made it the industry standard, establishing its dominance in the market. Now, once people start talking, feed the fire with rumors, stories, and even controversies. Remember, even negative comments can fuel desire. When something is talked about, it captures attention. And when attention goes, desire follows. In this way, desire for your product or idea spreads organically, driven by a very nature of human rivalry and social dynamics. Now, before we move towards our last strategy, let me ask you a question. How many of you want Big Boss? Come on, admit it. We say it's trashy, but we know we are hooked. Why? Because there is nothing more irresistible than peeking into someone else's life. See, today we are tracked and monitored like never before. Every click, every swipe, every awkward Google search, and whole society tells us to behave. Deep down, we all are just a little bit rebellious. We crave what is just out of reach, what is slightly off limits. It's like that one cookie on the top shelf, harder to get but way more tempting. And here is the kicker. One desire we all secretly love is the urge to see what's going behind closed doors. That is why Big Boss is such a hit. It lets us peek into people's private life in a legal manner. Imagine, not only film and theatre, but the entire gossip industry in our home and workplaces are thriving on this phenomena. And the same concept applies to products, brands, or ideas. Associate your offering with something that flirts with the illicit, something just a bit beyond the norm, and watch the desire build. And finally, remember, it's not the possession, but the desire that secretly drives people. Once you get it, the thrill fades and sparks the desire for something new to pursue. In a world where everyone is screaming for attention, the key to standing out is not just about being louder or more present. It's about being strategic, mysterious, and authentic. Because sometimes less really is more. Thank you for watching. If you found this content valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for more insights. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.